Morning, folks. I was having a little fun in the previous video to set up this video. The soap I'll be using today is labeled like this, and this one here is called Blue Label. And believe it or not, it is the same soap that's in this one. I'm just setting it up, I guess you might say, in case anybody was wondering. The two are the same. So in other words, if you had this one here and then you saw this one come out and you're kind of wondering about it, I got a link down below which it'll tell you that this is this soap. It's just different labeling and whatnot. But anyway, I just having fun with it. I'm going to be following the shape up with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This one here is Sundown. I do believe they're going to discontinue selling it for, I guess you might say, this year. It's one of those seasonal things, if I'm not mistaken, or he's just going to not sell it anymore. I'm not real sure. But anyway, I've got a link down below if you want to check it out. It is in a different label. Mine's an older label and a different shape container, glass container at that. Thought I would point that out. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and Proraso pre-shave is what I've been using here of late. I already worked it into my face this morning. Blade of choice, decided to go with Crystal. This is what my pack looks like. It comes in a plastic container, and you can tell that it's got started out with 10 blades in it, and it also comes single wrapped in a plain white paper. I have seen some other versions of this. It's think like black and red. Comes in a different kind of dispenser, but other than this one, what I just showed you. But excuse me, I'm thinking that in other words, it just depends on the packaging, what people are needing in their place of business, if you will. And shaver of the day, this one here is a Gillette Super Speed, and show you what the we got a frog this morning. Show you what this is what the blade looks like, if you can see that. And it does say super platinum on there. I guess you might say the blade is kind of, in a way, kind of generic because it doesn't ever say crystal on there. Not on the packaging unless you happen to see one of those kinds that are black and red. The black and red ones come in like a cardboard backing where you can hang it on a peg in a store. In other words, somewhat different than what I'm using here. And if you decide to get a 100-pack of the crystal, of this kind, they come loose just like I just showed you. They don't come in a cardboard box or anything like that. They're just all loose. So I don't know how they look when they come to the place of business, but every order I've ever done with crystal, ordering crystal blades, they come like that. And if you're wondering who's the manufacturer of crystal blades, it'll be Persona. I've got the lather whipped up here in my travel scuttle. It's plastic. It's a pretty nice little scuttle that you can microwave your water in it, and so on and so forth. And if you missed a previous video where I was talking about the handle right there, it is hollow, so the water inside also keeps the handle warm too, if that matters to some folks. As it goes for the brush, this brush I got on eBay, several years ago, 5 years maybe. It's been a moment. I got different versions of the handle. One looks like this, and I've got a reddish pink looking one that looks similar to this, and an orange and black one that looks like this, or the lines would be black, or anyway, different versions of it. Back then when I picked those up off of eBay, I'm not real sure what the name of it was. I think it was Jenga. I'm not sure. I haven't seen them on eBay in quite some time. But it is a horsehair knot, and I think I was paying right around $6 or $7 a brush. Inexpensive. But like anything else, when you pay that amount of money for a brush, you can expect there's going to be some flaws. And the flaws weren't necessarily in the handle by any means, as opposed that these, they shed quite a bit. This one here I haven't used in a while, so it's shedding quite a bit. I've got another one I've got sitting over here that I use off camera from time to time, and it isn't shed near as much anymore. But I have noticed for me with whipping up the lather in the bowl here that the scuttle, that it doesn't seem to mind working it up in the bowl with the swirling motion. It works well. And now if you're looking for a brush with backbone, typically a horsehair brush does not have a whole lot of backbone. I guess you might say some might consider it floppy. It just depends on how you work your lather. Like I say, I always use the swirling motion, and then I'm a bit of a painter when it comes to putting the shaving cream on my face. This particular razor came by the way of Razor Refresh. I don't think Dan's doing this anymore, but North Shore is another one of those companies that I think I guess you might see some, depending on what one you use, what coating. I think some of us refer to as gun coat, some of us Korea coat. I think North Shore, the last time I checked, is still doing it, which was just a few days ago. It is a coating that used on guns. That's where it more or less started. It might be something some people might consider powder coating, if you know what that is. It's a durable coating that'll last a good long while. You don't have to worry about shining it up or it tarnishing or anything quite like that. And not all vintage razors are great candidates for being replated in like nickel or gold or whatever they have. You plan on replating it in. Not all of them are good candidates for that sort of thing because the amount of wear and tear over the years. In other words, sometimes the pitting on the doors might be one of the factors of it not being the best candidate for having it replated in nickel or even gold or whatever the case might be, where a gun coat or Korea coat would be a better coating for it. And for me, at least you save the razor, if you will. This one here, I can't tell if there's any pitting. Even these here, sometimes the pitting would be on the underside of the razor, and I can't tell any pitting or anything like that on this one here. It looks to be in pretty good shape. But if you have a razor like that, you might look at having, I guess you may say, a non-traditional coating to it. That way the razor is still usable and looks good. This one here, mostly black with a blue line on it. Korea coat, gun coat comes in different colors. Just depends on what one they have available. Find it an interesting coating. I don't notice any difference, in other words, through the shave. Does this kind of coating, in other words, does it create a drag on the face or anything like that? I don't notice it. Somebody else might. I know I don't. It glides just fine across the face. I don't notice anything different than if it was coated in nickel. Still fun to use. As it goes, for this particular shaver, is still what I consider an easygoing shaver. The blade is there, but it's not anything aggressive or menacing or anything quite like that. Make you really concerned about your technique. It's still a Gillette Super Speed. Just a different coating. I enjoy using it from time to time. Super Speeds, to me, whether you use them one like this one here or if you're using a flare tip, they're all fun to use. Fantastic lineup that Gillette had years ago. Guess you might say very suitable for the masses. Especially on the flare tips with the different colors for different aggressions. That way a person can hopefully find one that works best for them, their taste. Not everybody can handle the red tip, for instance. And a blue tip might be more in order for some folks. You can kind of tell this hard puck soap for me works up pretty well for the kind of lather that I'm looking for. It's relatively, it's not drippy by any means, but it's fairly well hydrated. Got plenty of glide across the face. I feel like it's even efficient enough for me. Gives me close enough shave where I'm quite happy with it. My shaves, I strive for the smooth and comfortable. That's what I'm looking for. If you get too close, at least for me, I know I'm going to get some irritation. And irritation, when I mention irritation, I'm really talking about the kind of stinging, the uncomfortable feeling throughout the day, well after the shave. Not just the stinging, shortly after the shave when you're using the alum block or the aftershave or something like that. That part there doesn't bother me because that's short-lived. It's what happens throughout the day. That sort of thing, it's a distraction. The whole day I feel my face stinging from time to time, irritated. In other words, kind of tells me that, I definitely did something wrong. I don't like those kind of shaves. So I've gotten better over time to learn what kind of razors or blades that does that sort of thing to my skin, to not to use those anymore or use that technique anymore, whatever the case might be. Smooth and comfortable. I mean, this face already, my face feels fantastic. Feels very smooth. Matter of fact, as it goes for how does the soap feel as a post-shave feel, it doesn't feel bad at all, especially considering the price point. Matter of fact, the link I've got down below, it's all four of them. In other words, inexpensive. I'm quite all right with the soap. I could use it every day. Wouldn't bother me a bit. The scent strength, I would maybe medium to light. I don't really pick it up unless my nose is in the puck. Throughout my shave, at least for my nose, I don't particularly pick it up. Stinging right now, I got a little bit on my neck right here, just a little bit on this one side right here, but outside of that, I guess you might say sting free, if you will. And like I say, that kind of sting, it's here now, gone in a moment. Yeah, that sort of thing doesn't bother me. It's the ones where it's an hour, 2 hours after the shave, and your face still feels like you just got done and you just applied the alum block to it. Yeah, those kind of shaves, I go back and revisit what I did and see if I can't make an adjustment where my shave is a lot more comfortable post-shave. It's already calmed down. I don't have any stinging anymore. I think that has a lot to do with the witch hazel. Guess you might say having a bit of a calming effect. There's nothing, how can you say, special about this witch hazel. It's unscented. Just, I guess you might say, normal run-of-the-mill Humphreys witch hazel. Aftershave. Now this one here is, I've had this one here for a moment, and when I bought this one here, I bought it with a 2-ounce size puck. Those have been made in a good long moment. But that's what the restrictor looks like, if you're kind of wondering. This one here is an alcohol-free one. So in other words, I not only bought a puck size that was unusual, but also opted to use this one, buy this one here, thinking that this one here wouldn't be made very long. This one here, this is, I guess you might say, patterned after Sun Up from Gillette. I picked this one here mainly because as it goes for, I guess you might say, vintage scent, classic scent, if you will. I thought this one here would be a good one to use. The soap itself, this one here, if you're wondering about this barbershop scent, It does have a little bit of a powder scent to it. It's nothing, in other words, nothing overpowering. I just kind of sort of notice it. I think the reference of blue is a good reference. It's they patterned this in after Floyd blue, and it does kind of remind you of a blue, or in other words, an aqua type scent to it, but it does have a little bit of a powdery scent to it, but nothing overwhelming. I've got some barbershop scents that the powder is what you first, as soon as you pop the top, that's what the first thing you pick up on. I don't notice it with this one here. This one here, I pick up more of the blue, if you will. Had a great shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and also stay warm, depending on where you're at. Smooth shaves to you.